Hi, and welcome back to another video in the AI Shorts video series. This video series is focused on the possible uses of AI technologies here in the world of education. So today I want to talk about using ChatGPT to create a website. As you might know, there are a lot of places out there that you can use to create websites for free. There are also pay-to-play places where you have to pay for service, which is what I have, say, with my websites with GoDaddy. So today I want to try to use ChatGPT to see if we can use this technology to help us create a website for free using Google Sites. So let's jump on now and see how that might work. Okay, so let's try this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a page here with ChatGPT, and I'm going to say, can you help me create a new website using Google Sites? I'm showing you this first step because what it's going to do, I've tried this out already, it's going to just tell you how to get started on Google Sites. One of the things I like about ChatGPT is it's like the internet on steroids, or whatever you want to use. Maybe I shouldn't use that because I know performance enhancing drugs is like a bad thing in sports, or has been a bad thing. But it's like taking our traditional web search and it's allowing us to customize and to get more directly to what we want exactly. If you do this on Google, and I'll just show you what that looks like, even though we're going to Google Sites, let's take that same prompt and put it into Google. I think it's going to be radically different. If I just hit search here, let's hit return. And you see immediately that it really doesn't show us or tell us. It pulls up links. It shows you WikiHow, HubSpot, Indeed. It has videos that pop up. You can click on any of these if you want. There is this right here, which is the closest, and that's directly from Google. So it tells you here how to create a new site. But the reason I like ChatGPT better for doing web searches, frankly, is it gets right to the point, and we can customize without having to do a lot of clicks and spending a lot of time. So check out what ChatGPT did for us. It told us the exact steps, 8 steps. Go to Google Sites, click Create, choose your template once you've selected it, So that is super easy to just use. So what I've done here is I could go to Google Sites. I'm signed in as me here. So if you have a Google account, you're just going to search for Google Sites. And again, here, it'll tell you right here, that's the web URL to go to. If you don't have a Google account, just create a new one. Probably most of you do. Once you have that, you can actually work from here. And again, it's free to use and it'll host it for you. Google Sites will. Now, the interesting thing about Google Sites is that it maybe doesn't have the bells and whistles of a lot of other websites, like what I say use for my own personal websites, my professional websites, LTCC Teaching and Learning. And that's just because I think it's just a simpler program. But it's pretty darn good, actually. I mean, it'll get you started. I know quite a few faculty have used Google Sites. I think Sarah Pierce, I think Larry Green, maybe some others. So you could start here. And one of the things you can do is, let's refine this a little bit. Thanks. When I use Google Sites, do you have tips on how to make my website using the following, let's just say 4 categories. We're just going to make this up. And those are, let's say, teaching, research, professional life, and links. I have no idea. I'm just going to put those up. Let's see what happens when I ask ChatGPT for this feedback, if you will, on how to organize the website. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So it's actually showing me a little bit of organizational approach here. So let's say I didn't know this, and for my teaching thing, I'm like, what do I put in my teaching tab? It's telling me I could create separate pages for each of the teaching related content areas, course description, syllabi, etc., for research, for links, and for professional life. So what I then do, and again, I'm not going to show you how to do this from scratch, I would go in here, and then when I go to my pages, I'm just going to call these whatever I did on the other one. So teaching, links, professional life. And what's nice about Google Sites is it's super easy to use. It's pretty much a what you see, what you get kind of editor here. that allows you to simply type stuff in, drag stuff, and make some choices for images and so forth. So I really recommend Google Sites because it just allows you to get started very quickly. So let's go back to this because there are some additional tips here. Keep it simple, use visuals to enhance the content, make it interactive, optimize for search engines, and keep it updated. So what I like again about using ChatGPT in general for doing a web search and then helping me decide on something is it hones in on the information. It gives me tips. It doesn't send me in a lot of different directions. If you use Google to do a web search, it's really not as effective a tool in terms of using ChatGPT here. So now the other thing I can do is the following. What if I want to, inside of Google Sites, let's say I have my area here, one of the things you're going to notice in any content area is you can do an embed, and that's an HTML code. So what I can do is I could do an embed by URL or a code. So I'm actually going to do a code. So I'm going to ask Google Sites, can you please create HTML code for the following? Now I got to think, what do I want to have in here? Let's see. I'm going to try something really challenging, see if I can get it. So I'm going to ask it to go to my website and go to this teaching page. And I'm going to see, can it make a drop-down menu that will have links to all of these videos on the foundation section. I haven't tried this. I don't know if it'll even be able to do it. Go to the website and find links for all of the videos under the first tab called, if it gets this, I'm going to be blown away, called Foundations. Let me just make sure that's correct. Yeah, Foundations. Okay. And then create the HTML write-up that is a drop-down menu for each of those videos. So I think I'm being pretty specific here. What it spits back, I don't know. So let's give this a shot. Okay, so it can't do that, and this is interesting. We'll take a look at it when it's done. What it's saying is, as an AI model, it can't access external websites. However, I can provide you with this code, and then you could modify it. So what we would do is, let's wait for the code to finish here. And it's telling us exactly what to modify. That's going to be pretty easy then. So link 1, 2, and 3. And you'll find that in the code. So all I have to do is copy the code. And anytime you do write up or any kind of code inside of ChatGPT, it always does it in a separate window, which I think is great because then it's super easy to work with it. So now all I'd have to do is go back to my website, paste the embed code. Again, I'm going to change this with the links I want, but let's just try this out. And hit insert and try it out. Okay, so that is the drop down. Because I don't have this site live, it's not showing me the drop down menu, but all I have to do is go in here and find any of that link 1, 2, and 3, okay, right there. So just make sure you select that whole thing. And then I would just go back to any of these videos, get the URL, the unique web address, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste that in that link there. So that's going to give me that link. And so that's actually an easy option if you want to do something like that, create menus. Again, you could think of any number of applications for this. Just try it out. Again, you're not going to damage anything. Just simply go into ChatGPT and say, write code for me or write HTML write-up that does a specific thing. So I think the sky's the limit here. Again, hopefully this just gets you started with using Google Sites. What I'm suggesting is really you have Google Sites opened up and ready to go to create your website using one of those templates that we looked at. And then you have ChatGPT opened up and you kind of use the two in tandem. The minute you find something that you need inside of Google Sites, go back to ChatGPT, ask it a question and see if it can help you out in terms of creating that website in a more user-friendly and easy manner. So that will be it today here using ChatGPT and Google Sites to create your own website if that's something you'd like to do. I appreciate you listening to this video series here, AI Shorts. And as always, come back and listen to additional videos in this series.